win to move ahead in their series against the Toronto Raptors. James Harden had 23 points. Donovan Mitchell added 19 for the Cavs, who had 15 turnovers and really had a rally late in the fourth quarter. So now the question is, did that Game 5 make you feel better about Cleveland going forward? Because we actually saw Donovan Mitchell and James Harden show up at the same time.
Better, yes. Did it make me feel like they're going to go up to Toronto and win Game 6? No. I mean, Toronto really was in control of some important stretches in that game. And they're, like Atlanta, like Detroit, a little further back in the pack, not ready yet probably to break through. Need another player, particularly offensively. But Toronto, the way they're playing, the way some of their young players are emerging, and Scotty Barnes having this particular place on a big stage for really the first time in his career, I expect Toronto to force a Game 7, Stephen A.
So do I. I definitely expect them. I'm not picking Cleveland to win Game 6, not what I've seen. Look at the first half, for example. Toronto scored 74 points in the first half. 74 points in the first half. And they were shooting like 59% from three. Where the hell was Cleveland defense? Now, it showed up in the second half. Major props to them. But the bottom line is Toronto is a very, very confident team against the Cleveland Cavaliers. And it's not like Cleveland is blowing them out. They've gone on the road in Cleveland and they've battled. And obviously they handled their business on their home turf. And we know how that crowd in Toronto is going to show up. Make no mistake about it. It's an electric environment. And I think it's going to be special. And I think they're going to feed off of it. And I think they're going to force a Game 7. But having said all of that, that still shouldn't shy us away from giving James Harden credit, cautious credit. And I hope he's watching. James Harden showed up last night. He was effective. Wasn't great like he can be, but he was effective. He showed up, which is what you're asking for. And him and Donovan Mitchell playing the way that they did, of course. Evan Mobley had 23 points. What was it, 9 rebounds, I think, as well. Evan Mobley showed up. That was big time, too. But James Harden showed up. And I like the fact that he was a bit feisty with R.J. Barrett over by the Toronto Raptors bench. Guess what, Wilbon? We need to see that from James Harden. But here's the point, and this is what's going to annoy him. Respectfully, he's going to have to get the hell over it because we only speak in facts here. There have been too many situations in Game 6 or a Game 7 where there has been an APB out for James Harden. We're not talking about bad games. We're talking about no-shows. We're talking about one of the most prolific scorers, Shea Wilbon, in NBA history, who is going to the Hall of Fame someday, literally choosing not to shoot the damn basketball in Game 6s and Game 7s. Wilbon won't say names. I won't say names. But there are numerous coaches and executives that resent that man, James Harden, because of the greatness that he has shown in regular season games and playoff series, even Games 1 through 5. But Game 6 and a Game 7, he was nowhere to be found. No matter how much respect and adulation and love they have for him, there is palpable resentment that has emanated from coaches, from players, from executives who he's represented that said they didn't know where the hell he was in a Game 6 or a Game 7. That is what cannot happen in this series. Toronto will probably win Game 6 with James Harden showing up, which means there would be a Game 7. And that is the lone question about James Harden. In a Game 6, potential closeout game, a Game 7, obvious closeout game. Where the hell are you? James Harden has to show up. I believe in him. I believe he will, Wilbon. I don't believe there's going to be a replica of games in the past, but he has to do it in order for Cleveland to win this series.
Well, Stephen, remember, when this trade was made, when James Harden went from Los Angeles to Cleveland, it seemed in a lot of ways, I remember thinking, and I sat through, as you did, we sat shoulder to shoulder in a lot of these games, that Harden just hasn't come through, has seemed bewildered and not himself. You know, as if somebody just robbed him of his own personality that we've seen for all these years in Game 6s and 7s. And so, but is this his last best chance or his best last chance? I mean, Harden, it seemed like he played with a certain urgency. His role is different. With Donovan Mitchell there, it doesn't have to be scoring, but it's got to be contributing. It can't be not showing. He can walk out there and have an 11. James Harden completely capable in a 6 or a 7 of having an 11-assist game. He's going to need to contribute in one of those meaningful ways. Again, if this is late in the game now to have this discussion about James Harden, and you just wonder, can he cash in?
The good news, and I hate to say injuries are good news, but I guess if you're looking for good news for Cleveland, both Scotty Barnes and Brandon Ingram got banged up last night. Brandon Ingram only had 1 point, for Toronto. So we'll see how that shifts the series, if it does at all. Also, Cleveland 10-1 when leading the series 3-2. We'll see.
Perfectly good shares. We refuse to use them.
Energy. Briscoe here. Game 5. Series tied 2 apiece between the Cavs and Raptors. It's one of those series that's been kind of low-key good because nobody really has their eyes on it like that. But here, under a minute to play in the first, James Harden, corner 3 is cash to put the Cavs up by 1, part of Harden's 14-point effort in the first frame. Final seconds of the first, Donovan Mitchell with a heave. And that goes. Vibes are immaculate in Cleveland. A 4-point lead for the Cavs after 1 frame. We move to the second, where some tough news comes for Toronto. Brandon Ingram was dealing with a little bit of a heel injury, and here after the ball gets tipped away by Evan Mobley, you can see him clearly hobbled. He would not return after suffering that heel injury, finished with 1 point. And Cleveland would still find themselves in trouble. Jacoby Walter off of the turnover from Jared Allen. That is a 4-point lead for Toronto, and on the ensuing Cavs possession, more of the same. Walter once again, this time with emphasis. 23 points off the turnovers had the Raptors in the first half. They led by 7 at the break. We move to the fourth. Jalen Tyson pulling up. That ties things up at 103. And then Evan Mobley in the corner puts Cleveland up by 3. Crowd is up and roaring, and later in the fourth, it's a 4-point lead for the Cavs, and Dennis Schroeder cashes in from the left wing. After this play, though, James Harden is all on the Toronto bench, and apparently R.J. Barrett took exception.
The ball was by our bench, and he walked in our bench to go pick up the ball. I take everything with disrespect. Don't walk over to our bench and pick the ball up.
Okay, but what arena are we in?
I'm a little. Why?
It's just a matter of principle,
Why
I
can't
guess.
we all just get along?
It was just a little recovery
I just
mission.
want both teams to have fun.
That's right. Cavs ice the game with free throws. Harden finishes with 23. Cavs win by 5.
Evan Mobley joins us now. First of all, congrats on the win. It was a fun one to watch. It was partly exciting because you guys were down 3 heading into the fourth quarter. You went on that run. You let the Raptors get back on it. You went back in on another run. So, in the end, how did you actually close this one out?
I think it was just our resilience. We were down 12 points, I think, at one point in this game, and I feel like we just joined together. Everyone played together. We got our rhythm offensively for a second, and just pushed the ball, pushed the pace. And then defensively, I feel like we made it tough on them.
I need you to be a little selfish right now, because I want you to talk specifically about your game, because you defensively held Toronto to 5 of 14 shooting on defense. When you think about how you played, what pride do you have in your defensive play?
Yeah, that's my main skill right now. I think my defensive prowess, and I won DPOY last year, so just trying to keep that up. And I think I did a good job tonight of playing the cat and mouse game and the pick and rolls, and getting a few blocks tonight. And but it's really just a team defensive night, honestly. I think our team defense was great tonight.
So you got him to start just ever so slightly selfish, and then he roped it back around to the team. Another thing that you did in this game, your 3-point shot has sort of been missing in this series. You had 2 threes all series. Until tonight, when you were 3 for 3 and you had a couple of big ones down the stretch. How did you find it? How did you get it back?
Just been working at it. Regardless of the results in the past, we're going to need them at some point. And tonight was the night. I saw the first one go through. It felt good, and started shooting the rest. And the rest was history. But just trusting the work, honestly.
Okay, so at the end of the game, there was that moment, there was that little thing between R.J. Barrett and James Harden. What did you see from your perspective?
Honestly, I have no idea. I haven't seen anything yet, so I'm not sure what happened, but I know there's a little scuffle, and that's about it, honestly.
Good answer. That's what I would say, too. I don't know. I didn't see anything. All right, Game 6. You got to go to Toronto for this one. How do you close it out on the road?
Just playing our brand of basketball. I feel like we found it in the third and into the fourth, and we got to play that way throughout the whole entire game, and defensively making it uncomfortable for them from the jump. And they're at home court now, and that means we got to bring even more energy.
Evan, super appreciate the time. We'll see you soon.